I'm Logan Crawford, and right now on Spotlight, we're talking about this. How can love so right turn out to be so wrong? It's a question that songwriters and authors and philosophers and lovers have contemplated throughout the ages. It's also the subject of a book by my next guest. It is called The Moment I Should Have Bounced by Ray Brown. Ray, thank you so much for joining us here today on Spotlight.
For having me, Logan.
Oh, our pleasure. I think a lot of people feel this way, that I stayed in the game too long. I should have gotten out. Tell me a little bit about what your book is all about.
Well, the book takes a look at situations that people should recognize before they get too deep into relationships. Things that happen, things that are kind of precursors that tell you what's going on, but people try pretty much ignore them and wish that they would either improve or go away, or maybe just a one-time thing. But we all know that, when you ignore something, sometimes it just keeps coming back like a bad meal.
Absolutely. You see the warning signs, the bells are flashing, the lights are going off, and you ignore it. I think a lot of it has to do with hormones. I mean, you're attracted to this girl and you're turning a blind eye to everything bad about her until that attraction wears off a little bit and you realize, hey, well, what did I do? Right?
Absolutely. I mean, men and women. It happens to women more than men, I believe. Women let things go, and they don't recognize things that could hurt them potentially, or end up having the situation just go totally wrong, totally opposite of what they think it should be.
And there are always clues. Like I said, people turn a blind eye to them. But if he's not returning your text, if he's not returning your call, if he's ghosting you from time to time, this is not a real relationship. Male or female or whatever the makeup is of the couple, if the person isn't being true to you, isn't being honest with you, is can't be taken at their word, there's a problem with the relationship.
I mean, it goes beyond that too. You got the people that want to know where you're at constantly, every second of the day. You have the ones that get physical and say, "Oh, it's never going to happen again." That those type of situations. I think women should run the first time it happens. They should turn around and run.
Exactly, because it will happen again, particularly domestic abuse. If somebody hits you, if somebody threatens to hit you, that's just how they deal with conflict. They are physical people, and you don't want any part of that.
Exactly.
Ray, tell me a little bit about your book. You start out, you're just out of the service, you meet this woman, you're head over heels. Tell me a little bit about your first story in the book.
Uh, well, the first story is about a situation I was in. I was seeing this young lady, and actually, she bounced on me. She, we were, we had ate dinner. We went back to my place, and my phone rang. So in my mind, I'm saying to myself, I don't want this girl to think I'm hiding something from her. So I answered the phone, which was turned out to be a big mistake. And it happened to have been a friend of mine that I had no kind of relationship with, and she was a female. And what she did was I told her, I said, listen, I have company. I'll call you later on. Once we hung up, she called me back like 4 or 5 times repeatedly. So the girl said, listen, take me home. I don't want no parts of this. And I tried to explain to her, listen, this person means nothing to me, but she was not trying to hear it. And that was the end of that.
And that's somebody who perhaps bounced too quickly because you were being honest with her, you were being straightforward, but her jealousy level, her threshold was very, very low. And as soon as she got those feelings, she wanted to be out of the relationship.
I wouldn't say she bounced too quickly. I just think she was exercising um, sound judgment at the time, because she may have been in a situation like that before. I don't know. I didn't get to, we didn't get to that point where we were discussing prior things that happened. So she may have seen something that I didn't see, and I might have done the same thing if it was the situation was reversed. I might have said, "Listen, this guy's calling you, calling you, calling you. Must be something. Must feel some kind of way." And I might have just did the same thing. So I wasn't mad at her.
Right, right.
But in retrospect, I couldn't really be mad at her.
What do you think the biggest warning signs are in a relationship to tell you not to be part of it?
Well, when you meet someone initially and say a person is quick to anger at something you said, or they, kind of grab on you, or they kind of prejudgmental all the time, or they, like I said earlier, they want to know where you're at all the time, or they just kind of put you in awkward situations all the time, and you, most of the time, you should speak to the person about the situation and tell them what you don't like, and if it continues, don't stay, go, leave, get out.
Absolutely. You need to see what the warning signs are. You need to pull the ripcord when you need to get out. And like I said, that goes for both women and men. It's very, very important. When did you start getting so wise, Ray? When did you figure this all out? I think I didn't figure things out till I was about, I don't know, last week. I don't know, because you keep on thinking, I've seen it all before, I've got the answers, and then your whole world's turned upside down. But when did you start becoming a wise man?
Well, after lots of failed relationships, I just started to examine, my part in it, and just take a look back and see where things took a wrong turn, or where I could have gotten out earlier instead of staying, or they should have gotten out earlier instead of staying. Because after a while, if you're not working together, what are you doing?
Exactly.
So I don't know. It just things I took a look at over a period of time.
Exactly. You do. Every relationship you're in works as a case study of what to do right and what to do wrong in the next relationship. That's how I feel. You do learn your lessons as you go along, and we're still learning lessons, getting our hard knocks, right?
I mean, and it's not just romantic relationships. There's other relationships that we form in life with friends, people that we have at work, people that we go to church with, people that we have any kind of gathering with and form any kind of a relationship with. There's something there. Not all the time is balanced. There's things that we need to look at and see if this is a good, healthy relationship for me to be in. Whether it's a friend from work, whether it's a friend from your neighborhood, whether it's a friend from a place you worship, anything like that. Every time you deal with someone, you form a type of relationship with them.
Absolutely.
And a lot of times, unhealthy relationships, and we need to know when to cut the relationship off.
Agreed. Every relationship, whether it's romantic or just a friendship, kind of has the same dynamics. It's communication, it's trust, it's the enjoyment of being together. And once those pillars of the relationship are falling apart, it could be time to bounce, even at work. If you're not having a good relationship with your boss, there's a time to pull the ripcord because you're not being appreciated, and you get the heck out of there.
Absolutely.
The name of the book is The Moment I Should Have Bounced. It is awesome. Order it on Amazon. You can download it onto your Kindle. You can get the paperback copy of it. It will really be a memory lane, if you will, of all the different relationships you've been in. And Ray Brown really does a great job of giving you a lot of his wisdom. So perhaps you don't have to make the same mistakes. Ray Brown, thank you so much for joining us here today on Spotlight.
Thank you very much again for having me.
My pleasure. And to the folks at home, I'm Logan Crawford, thanking you for your time this time. Until next time on Spotlight.